Well, well, well. So it is Friday, and I believe the Cowboys must have been off, or maybe I missed it. But if I'm not mistaken, the Cowboys pretty much didn't do anything today. They got some festivities going over the next 3 days. Whatever the case may be, it's not going to be open if they do have practice to the public. I think the next open practice is going to be Monday. But nevertheless, there is so many things to talk about as it applies to the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, we got a whole lot of player interviews out from yesterday, I would assume. There's people talking about the Cowboys as they are watching the Cowboys training camp. And we are watching a lot of the things that the Cowboys have set out to do. We are watching these things materialize right before our eyes. And that's why a lot of people, they're late to this Dallas Cowboy hype train. Yeah. Anybody who's been following me? I've been on this Dallas Cowboys thing ever since I started this channel. And I told y'all, the Cowboys are going to go on a ferocious Super Bowl run over the next 2 seasons. Super Bowl, either 2026, no later than 2027. I'm sticking to that prognostication, and the Cowboys are doing everything they can do. I mean, they're not trying to prove me right, but they're going to prove me right. Let's talk Cowboys. We're about to talk facts. What is going on, Dallas Cowboy fans? I'm sorry. I keep telling people they're gonna call me a prophet before it's all said and done. Everything you hear people saying about the Cowboys now, I was saying this before the Cowboys even made the moves. Let's go. Let's get it. Welcome, 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 Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And as you come into this live stream, please hit that like button, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know the next time we post another video or go live. And if you haven't become a channel member subscriber yet, what are you waiting on? We have a lot of great things coming up on this channel this season. Now let's talk facts. All right, so today we are going to talk about the Dallas Cowboys camp takeaways. At least my camp takeaways. We're gonna look at the Dallas Cowboys Dak Prescott presser, which was really good. We're gonna look at the CBS camp update. They're talking about the Dallas Cowboys. We're gonna look at the George Pickens interview. There are quite a few interviews out there. I won't be able to get to all of them tonight, but hey, we got the whole weekend to talk even more about the Dallas Cowboys. Then there is a Demarion Overshown interview out there on CBS. We're gonna listen to that. Also, there's a couple of things came out, I believe. I think it's maybe ESPN or whoever it is, talking about Dak Prescott is an absolute monster, or he's built a monster, and I think it's ESPN. Then we're gonna talk about the latest Tony Romo update, and I think I'm going to fit a couple of other things in here too that I didn't get a chance to talk about over the last couple of days. So I might not have those topics up, but we're gonna deal with those segments nevertheless. So, man, we got a great show. We got a great show planned this evening. Welcome to Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. Let's go, man. Let's get it. Let's go. All right, let's get this roll call in on this Friday night. Let's see who is in the building. My sister Niecy is already in the building on a Friday night. I see you, Niecy. What is going on? My man Jeremy Betts. What up, Jeremy Betts? He said good evening to Cowboys Nation. Robert Dudley, what is going on? Carl Williams, what up? Derek Jones, we them boys, what's going on? Quinn in the building. He said best channel on YouTube. I appreciate you. Quinn is in the building. What up, Quinn? What is going on? Thomas Goldring Jr., what's up, Goldring? Marvin Mays is in the building. It is the Queen. What is going on, Queen? Good to see you. Country Field. Sexy Suze is back in the building. What up, Sexy Suze? Good to see you. Q-Town, dude. What is going on? Queen said I saw something about Downs getting the green dot. We're going to see. I think he's going to be a backup, but I think that green dot is going to Overshawn, but we're going to see. Marcus Moncherio, what is going on? Chuck Dunaway, what is going on? I told you to keep that notification bell on. Hey, sometimes I do 4:30, and then I may do 8, whatever time it is tonight. Larry Hunter, what's up? Brandon Cup, what is going on? Everybody talking about Crosby. I ain't worried about Crosby. I don't think it's happening. Until we see something with Quentin Williams, I'm not paying attention to nothing with this Max Crosby conversation. Tommy Solo, what is going on? Jacob Jackson, Gabe Robinson, Dak Prescott in the building. You might as well change that name, Dak Prescott, because I don't think Dak has any stress. Big Boss Dog in the building. What is going on? Dak Prescott says, welcome to Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. Come in, hit that like button. Let your opinion be heard. Also, please keep the chat clean. Appreciate you, Dak Prescott. What's going on, Delphine Vasquez? What is going on? Brandy, what's going on? Nothing is going over there, right, Brandy? Let me know, but I don't think anything's going on. I Am Him said, it is our turn now. I'm with you. Demetrius Noel, what is going on? Good to see you. Ice Cold is up in this thing. What's up, Ice Cold? What up, Ice Cold? Phyllis, what's going on? What is going on, Phyllis? Anthony Ganson is in the building. What is going on, my man, Frank Lawrence? What's going on, Frank? All right, the real estate vet over here. Happy Friday. From Las Vegas, man, how hot is it? That heat was smothering today over here. Niecy, on a Friday night. What is going on? My sister Niecy on a Friday night. Boy, I know something's happening great for the Cowboys this year with Niecy in here on a Friday night. Brave Cowboys, what is going on? I'm the GOAT. He said 15-2, bucket. Mike said this. What's going on with you? Good to see you. Tommy Solo, K Choice, Ty Howard. Man, there's so many here tonight. Hey, I'm glad y'all with me. Glad y'all with me. What up, Tommy T? All right. Man, let's get this show started tonight. Best chat on YouTube. Let's get this thing rocking, man. Let's get this thing rocking tonight. All right, I want to start out with some camp takeaways for me. My camp takeaways for tonight.
Yes! Here we go!
Camp takeaways for tonight. I want to start out by saying Brian Schottenheimer. I am very impressed with Brian Schottenheimer. Brian Schottenheimer is shaping up to be one of the best coaches the Cowboys have had. I mean, you think about Tom Landry, you think about Jimmy Johnson, and we've had some Parcells sprinkled in there. We've had some Mike McCarthy sprinkled in there. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm very excited about what I'm seeing from Brian Schottenheimer. It's not the X's and the O's yet. It's the way he's really handling the team. I am really liking it. Really liking it. Okay, Delphin, you said that I see Stephen Jones. Okay, I'm going to go check that out because we'll listen to that tonight. If we get the opportunity, I'll fit Stephen Jones in if he's talking about trades and free agents. We'll fit it in. But nevertheless, man, when it comes to Brian Schottenheimer, I am so happy with the way Brian Schottenheimer is conducting himself, the way he's managing this team. My other takeaway is I think the defense is going to be better quicker than some people may expect. Christian Parker seems to have a very good hold on the Dallas Cowboys defense. He seems to have a very good hold on it. The defense seems to be buying in. And as I'm watching the Cowboys practice, I'm noticing that this defense, yeah, the offense is doing some good things, but I think it would be a different story if they were in pads. I really do think it would be a different story if they were in pads. And so I really like what I'm seeing from the defense. The offense, it is what it is. Dak Prescott, another takeaway, the confidence of Dak Prescott, which is going to lead us into the Dak Prescott presser. But this is a different type of Dak Prescott. The swag looks different. It's like Dak Prescott now has an expectation of winning the Super Bowl. And I know why he's feeling like that, because Dak Prescott feels like that Jerry is finally putting the team around him that's going to be able to, for this team to go to the Super Bowl. And of course, another takeaway, man, George Pickens. I can't do nothing but just, man, George Pickens. That's all I can say. George Pickens, the way he's handling himself, it is just incredible. And it has really helped this team to stay away from a lot of drama. So I really like George Pickens. And then finally, and there are many other things I could say, but just off the top of my head, finally, for all the people who were so impatient about the Dallas Cowboys running back room. Dallas Cowboys running back room, I'm ready to see it in pads. But Phil Maffa and Jaden Blue, ooh-wee. Phil Maffa and Jaden Blue, they are looking like that they are going to be exactly what some of us were dreaming of. Jaden Blue, home run hitter. I believe Jaden Blue is going to hit some home runs this year. That young man is going to hit some home runs. Phil Maffa, he's going to be a great backup for Javonte Williams. I mean, with everything that we're seeing, oh man, I am so excited about this Dallas Cowboys team. So that's kind of what my takeaways are. Offense looking really good. Defense look like it's rounding up to be a way better defense than we have seen in the past. So everything seems to be coming together for the Dallas Cowboys. And y'all already know I've been here for it. Yeah, I've been here for it. Brandon, we're going to do John Gruden tomorrow. We're going to do John Gruden tomorrow. The John Gruden NFC East preview. We're going to do that tomorrow. Like I said, we got plenty of stuff to talk about over the next 3 days where the Cowboys are going to be off. But that is my Cowboys takeaway so far from camp. Those are my takeaways. All right. So let's get into this Dak Prescott presser. I want to make sure I get this Dak Prescott presser in tonight. Make sure we can evaluate this Dak Prescott presser.
Yes! Here we go!
Because Delphin was just telling me about Stephen Jones, so I want to go and see if I can investigate this thing about Stephen Jones as we listen to the Dak Prescott presser. Man, I'm telling you, man, I told y'all yesterday and I've told y'all in the past, man, Dak Prescott is walking with a whole different type of swag right now. Whole different type of swag. Dak Prescott feels like he's got a defense. He feels like, of course, he already knows he's got an offense. We already seen what he's calling the offense. He's already setting the standard for the offense. Dak Prescott feels like he's finally got a team around him. And I told y'all before, man, quarterbacks move different when they got teams, man. When they got defenses, when they got teams, man, quarterbacks move different. And so we are watching Dak Prescott, man. Dak Prescott is, Dak Prescott is not shying away from any kind of expectations. And I love this. He's not shying away from any expectations as it applies to the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, dare I say, Dak Prescott is inviting, Dak Prescott is inviting all the smoke. Yeah. Dak Prescott, in years past, people have brought the smoke to Dak Prescott. Nah, this year, Dak Prescott is inviting the smoke. He's inviting the smoke. I mean, this is a different, this Dak Prescott right here is walking with all kinds of swag. So, without further ado, this is Dak Prescott talking yesterday.
Yes! Here we go!
Set the tone. I mean, I think the tone's been set. To say a T-shirt was going to do it would be soft. Is that what somebody said? What? Yeah, I mean, to think that a T-shirt was going, I knew you guys would like it. Didn't know how many of the teammates would see it. You know, it's just got done talking about it. Really, it's just the manifesting thing, right? Like, me and Tad are just talking about it on the way up here. When we want stuff in life a lot of times, but then, you know, when people start talking about it, you know, you kind of hesitate. Like, should I say that? You know, if they're going to hold me to it. Well, absolutely. Playing in this organization, being in it 10 years, right, going into year 11, I'm not going to shy away from it. Like, when you don't have it, it sucks. When you don't get to play for it, when you're watching other teams play in the playoff, like, there's nothing worse than that. And so, yeah, you know, I said I'd be the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys when I was 6 years old, you know, and said I'd be in the NFL, and I got here. A lot of things in my life, you know, I said I'd do, and I did it. And so, like, why shy away from that now? Why shy away from asking people to hold me to the same standard that I believe that I can accomplish and this team can accomplish? And so, I don't know if the T-shirt was, yeah, this is, you know.
What did I tell y'all yesterday? What did I tell y'all yesterday? This Dak Prescott right here is talking from a different perspective. I believe in the past, Dak Prescott has wanted to win the Super Bowl. But Dak Prescott knew that he really didn't quite have the team to win the Super Bowl. But what you're listening to Dak Prescott talk from the perspective you're listening to him talk from now, it's not just his ability. He's talking from the perspective that he got a team around him. When I was younger, I had a cousin by the name of Floyd. And Floyd could whoop like 5 guys. And I'm not even exaggerating. My cousin Floyd could fight so good that he could whoop 3, 4, 5 people at a time by himself. And I can remember, like, when people would try to pick on me every now and then when I was in middle school and kind of starting high school, they would, you know, the way I would approach that is I might be a little bit more timid when they would talk noise to me when I was by myself. But then when people start finding out that my cousin was named Floyd, my cousin was Floyd, when people started finding out my cousin was Floyd, and I knew he was knocking people out and people were afraid of him, it's amazing how I carried on when that rumor got around or his reputation got around and I knew people were afraid of him. And when he was with me, oh, you better believe my swag was totally different when people found out who he was. Oh, you better believe. Your swag is totally different. When you got your boys with you, when you got somebody who will back you up, or you got somebody who you know is that tough, oh, your swag is totally different. Now, Brandy, I wouldn't hit them in the name of Jesus back then. No, not back then. Not back then. I can tell you this, my cousin Floyd was hitting them, but it wasn't in the name of Jesus. But my swag was totally different when I knew and found out that he was knocking folk out and everybody was afraid of my cousin. Dak Prescott, he's got his boys with him now. He's got a team with him now. A team that is playing with him, a team that is playing for him, a team that he's leading. Man, Dak got a team now. That I told y'all before, man, your swag, quarterback swags are different when they have defenses, when they have great offensive weapons around them, when they have great coaching, because they're talking from a perspective of, hey, man, not only am I talking, but I can back this stuff up. Yeah, I'm not just talking. I can back this stuff up. I can back up what I'm saying. And so Dak is really raising the level of expectations for this team, because Dak is basically saying something, bro, we got something here. We got something here. And I believe with what we have just written now, man, we can beat some teams. Watch what I tell you this year. When the Cowboys go up against the Rams, when the Cowboys go up against the 49ers, when the Cowboys go up against the Seahawks, when the Cowboys go up against the Texans, when they go up against the Packers, when they go up against some of these teams, they're going to hit the Cowboys in the mouth. You know what the difference is going to be this year? The Cowboys are going to hit them in the mouth back. That's going to be the difference. The Cowboys are going to hit them in the mouth back. Why? Dak's confidence. It's not just in himself. Dak's confidence is in the team that he's got around him. Yes, sir, we done boys, he's saying it with his chest. It's easier to say it with your chest when you got a team around you. Oh, it's easier. I'm telling you now, when my cousin Floyd was around, hey, my speech was a whole lot different, Brandy. Tell you right now. My speech was a little bit different. Dak got his boys with him now. Dak got his boys with him. Dak says, I got something. I believe that we got something that we can win with.
Well, this is it. As much as, hell, I've said it in the offseason. I've said it before. I know G.O.T.I's spoken about it. We've got certain teammates and leaders that'll do the same. So,
yeah, he's got his boys
thing.
with him.
Considering, looking back on it now, you're entering year 11. Did you think it'd be this hard just to get to that last game?
Did I think it'd be that? I mean, year one, absolutely not. I thought it would be easy. You know, I thought all of them would be like my rookie year. You know, you just lost by a field goal. We'll get here next year. You know, we'll block the field goal or we'll score and not get in that situation. And then, yeah, you look up and 7, 8 years later, you've been to the playoffs. You've lost some games, some tough games in some brutal ways. And, you know, and then you get into the last season and, you know, you think that you control a lot of it. And you think that your play is, you know, ultimately going to be the deciding factor. And I have on probably the best year of my career. And we're not even a playoff team. And then, yeah, you realize that these chances, these opportunities to put teams together that can actually make a run don't come often. And you don't always have the feel that we have right now about the momentum or about the team and about being able to compete for it as you do. And so, yeah.
Yeah, this is great. Again, Dak Prescott has just proven everything that I'm saying. See, a lot of people don't understand what Dak is talking about. But I bet you Joe Burrow understands. Joe Burrow understands what Dak Prescott is talking about. See, Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott in 2016, they were absolutely box office. Dak Prescott and Zeke were box office. And they ran. I'm talking about they didn't just go through. The Dallas Cowboys ran in 2016 with Dak and Zeke. Dak and Zeke ran through the NFL like diarrhea. I mean, they were that good. They ran through like diarrhea. It was effortless. Do y'all realize that Dak Prescott was balling so hard in his rookie season? It was insanity. I mean, roll through the Pittsburgh Steelers. Roll through the Pittsburgh Steelers so hard that Ben Roethlisberger even said that the Cowboys at that time were the best team in the NFL. I mean, they were box office. The problem is they ran up against Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. When Aaron Rodgers, at that point in time, you might as well call him the Green Lantern. Aaron Rodgers was at the peak of his powers at that time. And it took Aaron Rodgers to draw up a play in the dirt to beat the Dallas Cowboys. It took an incredible play, an incredible scramble. It took an incredible catch. It took an incredible field goal. It took all of that to beat a rookie Dak Prescott and a rookie Zeke Elliott. Now, the issue is when you have that kind of success, you're the number one seed. You have that kind of success. You know what you think? Oh, man, we did this in our rookie year. We're going to win the Super Bowl in the next couple of years. Heck, we might even win it next year. You think that it's guaranteed for you to have all of that success. Man, people don't understand. When you get those kind of moments, you better seize them. You better seize those moments. Because it's hard to get back to some of those places. It's hard. Ask Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow thought he was going to live in the Super Bowl. Joe Burrow got hurt his rookie season, came back his sophomore season, might as well have been his rookie season. Joe Burrow in the Cincinnati Bengals ran through the NFL again like diarrhea. And somebody got to say it, and I'm going to keep saying it. Yeah, I think the Rams might have got some help to beat the Bengals. I think they might have got some help. A lot of people said Aaron Donald jumped early. Because I'm telling you right now, had Aaron Donald not got that sack, Jamar Chase was running up that right sideline wide open, and that game was over, and Cincinnati was about to win that Super Bowl. I mean, somebody can go back and check that tape, even though they're not. But ask Joe Burrow. Ask Joe Burrow what Dak Prescott is talking about. Joe Burrow is saying, I might not ever make it back again at this point. Dak Prescott is saying something, man. You think it's easy. You think it's easy. Nah, it ain't easy. Rip Ripple, you make another great point. Rip Ripple. Ask Dan Marino. Ask Dan Marino. See, a lot of people think, Quinn, a lot of people think because when you're watching Tom Brady, you're watching Patrick Mahomes, you're watching those quarterbacks, and you're like, well, if they're doing it, why can't anybody else do it? Well, you're not paying attention to the teams they have around them. You're not paying attention to the coaching they have with them, offensive, defensive coordinator, head coach, GM, player acquisition, everything. People don't look at this stuff and they just say, well, if Kansas City is doing it, well, Dak Prescott ought to be doing it. Well, Dak ain't had the coaching that Patrick Mahomes has had. Dak hasn't had the teams that Patrick Mahomes has had. Dak hasn't had all that stuff. And so we take it and people take it for granted. And Dak, I'm sure he thought, yeah, we're going to be in the playoffs year after year after year after year. No big deal. Man, you find out very quickly. This league will humble you. This league will humble you, man. Nothing in this league is deserved. Everything is earned. Everything is earned. You got to earn it. And when you get to those moments, you better seize them. Because you'll be looking 15 years later and you'll be saying, what in the world happened? And Dak said it earlier. This is how I know Dak is talking from a different perspective. Dak always wanted to win the Super Bowl. And even Dak believed with all of his talent that maybe he could talent the Dallas Cowboys to a Super Bowl. Dak never could talent the Cowboys to a Super Bowl. I got news for us. Because most quarterbacks don't talent teams to the Super Bowl. They don't talent teams. Everybody thinks it's Patrick Mahomes. No, it's not Patrick Mahomes. Look at the teams around him. Look at the players. Look at some of the plays that were made. He may be the hero because he's the quarterback, but when you look at those games in totality, nah, man. Mahomes might have made big plays, but other people made big plays too. And this has been the downfall of the Dallas Cowboys, where Dak Prescott has made big plays. What's been lacking around Dak Prescott is the big plays by other players around him. Go back and check some of these Super Bowl wins and playoff wins by these teams where their defenses are getting pick sixes and causing fumbles and their defenses are just doing. Go back and look at that Philadelphia Eagle Super Bowl win against the Kansas City Chiefs. Why didn't Patrick Mahomes talent that team to a Super Bowl? Why didn't he do it? Because he got overpowered by a ferocious defensive line where the defensive tackles were leading the charge. And he couldn't talent his way to a Super Bowl. You can't do it. You need other players around you making big-time plays. This is why Jalen Hurts got his Super Bowl. He was better in the Super Bowl they lost. But in the Super Bowl where he was not as good, you want to know why they won? Because his team was better. His team was better around him. His defense was making plays. That's how you win Super Bowls. Dak has not been able, and this has been the fallacy of the doggone Dallas Cowboys with Dak Prescott. Jerry Jones said, we only go as far as Dak Prescott takes us. Well, you're right, because Dak Prescott can't take us anywhere. You need the whole team to win a Super Bowl. And this is why Dak is talking from this perspective, because Dak says now, I got a team around me. This is all he's telling us. It's that simple. I have a team around us. And now I'm going to talk. I'm going to set the expectations for this team now. Hey, guys, it's time to win a Super Bowl because you don't get these moments forever. Bottom line.
Dallas Cowboys, do you worry at all, and maybe you don't, whether the Super Bowl talk shirt puts an extra target, or the Cowboys talking Super Bowl again, an extra target on your back for the detractors?
No, not at all. I mean, I think that's as much as kind of the point I was making, if anything, is I don't care, and nobody should care within this organization or this team, because at the end of the day, we do control it. We control our chances. We control our opportunities with a little bit of luck of staying healthy. And that's kind of my point of, right, you guys are going to talk about it. You know, last year we were minus 500 and we went 3 games straight. And if you looked at any outlet, right, guys, you said we're going to win the Super Bowl because, right, we had made a trade. We were winning 3 games straight and we were the same team. You know what I mean? Like we just unfortunately weren't that good. We were competing, but we weren't that good to go make a run. But hell, every one of you guys were writing about it and talking about it. And so if people are going to talk about it, why can't we talk about it? It's not something that we talk about often. It's not something that it's brought up daily, I guess you can say, because we know that it's 1% better each and every day. You've got to handle your business, and if you're not competing today and iron sharpens iron, you're not going to have that opportunity or even chance. So, but yeah, to go into training camp and to go into season and say that those are our goals, I mean, it'd be stupid or we'd be remiss not to own that and take accountability in that and take pride in saying this is what we want to be and who we want to, what we want to do.
Yeah. And I agree with that. Hey, man, own it. Let me tell you something. Own it. Own it. You might as well own it. Dak is telling us something that I talked about in 2024. I learned something about Dak Prescott in 2024. Dak Prescott obviously has an iron will because Dak Prescott is very aware of things that are said in the media. He's very aware. He's very aware of how they operate. And if you don't think that Dak Prescott is very aware that everybody is talking about how good this Dallas Cowboys team is, well, Dak is saying, I'm not Stevie Wonder. I'm also realizing we're finally getting a team. So Dak is saying, rather than running from it, embrace it. Embrace it because you now actually have a team that it looks like you can pull this off. If you stay healthy, you need some luck. And if you execute and you win the games, not only the games that you're supposed to win, go out there and win a couple that nobody thought you could win. Man, you mess around and get all of these things going at the right time, man, you can win this thing. You can win it. I'm telling you. And I'm surprised they're still not saying, why not us? Why not us? It happened for the Patriots last year. They didn't win the Super Bowl. It happened for the Seattle Seahawks. Why can't it happen for the Cowboys? Dak is very aware of the media. What did he just say? If we can stay healthy, why not embrace it? Why not? I don't blame them. People going to talk no matter what you do. They're going to talk no matter what you say. So if they can talk, you can talk. Don't let the talk come from the outside. Let it come from the inside. Yeah, I'm agreeing with that. Embrace it, man. No point in running away from this now. I'm telling us all, there's no point in running away from this. They are putting together a team, and they're not done. Football fanatic, I saw what you said earlier. We need a couple of more pieces. I'm going to tell you this. I don't know if they believe this, but Jerry's going to get them pieces. Now, temper your expectations. Everybody think it's going to be Max Crosby. Temper your expectations. It might not be Max Crosby. But whoever it is, the Cowboys are going to bring somebody in that they believe can help. JC Cowboys Network, what's going on, my brother? You continue to do great work. Frank Lawrence said, amazing job the front office did. Get the defense, replace Eberflus' entire staff and all the subpar players with new roster, handpicked to fit Christian Parker's scheme. Amazing. Yeah. Yeah, man. And again, man, you might as well embrace it, bro. Might as well embrace it. Robert Dudley said Troy had it all. Yep, younger, hungry, Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson, North Turner, one stat, special teams. Yeah, he had it. And hey, guess what? Dak is saying, hey, man, we're getting there. Yeah, Alfonso, he said the pieces are coming together for picking key players for the Dallas Cowboys to succeed, and the Cowboys will be a complete team to get into the playoffs, into the Super Bowl. Yeah, they're doing all the right stuff. And so Dak is saying, man, let's embrace it. No point in running from it. Let's embrace it, man. Let's embrace it. People going to talk, let them talk. We're going to talk too. And what Dak is saying is, this isn't just talk. Let's set a standard in this locker room, man. Bernard Fields said this is the first time they added and didn't take away. When they did, they replaced it with someone else of value. I agree with you, Bernard. I agree with you. Marcus Moncherio, I agree with you. Some of the local media reports like they almost would rather see them fail. Yeah, I agree with you, bro. 100%. I agree with you. I agree with you. I think there are a lot of people out there that they would rather have the Cowboys to fail. So they can say, I told you they were going to do this and told you they needed, and they should have got Max Crosby and they should have got Myles Garrett. And had they did this, watch, you're going to hear this coming from inside of the Cowboys community. Had we did this and had we did that, we would have won. Not hearing none of that talk. Not hearing none of that. Dak is setting the standard. And Jerry ain't done. Jerry is not done. Bazzy9, what's going on? He says, well, I love freaking Dak. He said, that's my guy. Yep. Brandy said, the only player I'm sad about is the older edge we let go. Older edge we let go. Who are we talking about here? Oh, Bernard Fields, you got that blueberry musk? Yes, sir. Smelling like you walked out of Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, that blueberry musk. Hey, I got some more blueberry coming in. I'm going to tell you about that, too. Eric Yates said, you got to have that attitude like Pilot. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Quinn said, Dallas moving different. And you know what I like, Quinn? Dak moving different, too. I like how Dak moving, man. I like it. He's setting the standard.
You know, obviously you've been a good quarterback for a minute, but how comfortable are you in your own skin out there? It seems like this thing, the light has come on, and the game has slowed down for you, just watching your practice today. How comfortable are you? How much better can you be?
I'm never going to put a ceiling on how good I can be. Yeah, there's 2 throws I went back from today's practice, or a throw and a half, I guess you can say. But very comfortable. It's just life. You grow, you mature, you go through things, you have kids. You understand that it's about the way that you approach each and every day. I'm thankful for where I'm at. I'm thankful for this team. I'm thankful for the leaders that we have. Shotty, the Jones, what they've done with this organization, all the changes, not just with the personnel, but just within the building. Yeah, very, very comfortable, and just trying to take every moment and not look ahead and just stay right where my feet are and be present. I know I've said that before, and you guys know it's something I take pride in, but it feels good when you're able to do that and live that, and not just only football, but in life.
Yeah. Let me talk to you for a moment. See, I want y'all, I want us to understand something. And I know people sometimes talk about manifestation and things of those nature, but I want to go a little bit deeper on this whole thing about manifestation, because, you got to be careful with manifestation, because people talk about speaking things into existence. And when you think about speaking things into existence, I really want us to think about what that means. What does it mean when somebody says, and I don't even think people know what manifestation even is. And this is why sometimes you hear people when they talk about it in the wrong manner. And let me see here. Let me pull up the right. Yeah, let me pull it up in the right way. See, a lot of people don't get this, what we're talking about when we're talking about manifestation. Don't listen to the world talk about manifestation, because the world says manifestation is speak it into existence. That is not what the Bible says. If you really want to talk about what the Bible says, when you look at Romans 4:17, this is kind of where people kind of get this from. But I want us to kind of, y'all already know I'm a preacher. I ain't going to preach the whole sermon today. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to preach the whole sermon. But let me just kind of give you what this is, what Dak is talking about. In Romans 4:16, Paul says something that's powerful. He says, therefore, it is of faith that it might be according to grace, so that the promise might be sure to all the seed, not only to those who are of the law, but also to those who are of the faith of Abraham, who is the father of us all. As it is written, I have made you a father of many nations in the presence of him whom he believed God, who gives life to the dead and calls those things which do not exist as though they did. And so I want you to understand what all of that means. What does all of that mean? Manifestation isn't about you speaking things into existence. Manifestation is about you living so that those things will come into existence. That's what true manifestation is. You live those things. So, for example, when you pray to God about something, and I always laugh at folks, they say, oh, Jesus take the wheel. Jesus ain't taking no wheel for you. He's already died for your sins. He ain't taking no wheel for you. Folk don't understand these things. That when you want something to happen, you pray about it, but you also live it. You do the things that make the thing that you want to come true. Don't ask God to give you $1 million home and then go sit in your $50,000 home and think you're going to wake up the next day and it's going to be $1 million home. No. Now you got to go out there and put in the work to get that $1 million home. You do the things that are to be done for you to get that $1 million home. You got to go out there and live it, because Paul says at the beginning of Romans 1, I think it's 1:17, 1:18 in there, the just shall do what? They shall live by what? They shall live by faith. The just shall do what? Live by faith. What are you talking about? You live by what you say, or live by where you say you are going. Don't tell me you go to heaven. You're going to heaven. Live also as if you're going to heaven. Yeah, that's what it's called. So what does all that mean in what Dak Prescott is saying? Why is Dak speaking as he's saying, speaking things into existence? Because they're doing the things that will get them the thing that they want. The Super Bowl. What did he mention? He mentioned the coaches. He mentioned the players. He mentioned the owner. He mentioned the system. He mentioned everything the Cowboys are doing. Yeah, you know why he's saying speak it into existence? Because we're doing the things that will make it exist. Oh, yeah, that's church right there. Yeah, that's church. Don't listen to people talk about manifestation from the world perspective. No, don't pray to God and then go sit on your hands. You pray to God and then you go live like you want your prayers to be answered. You be faithful to God. You do the things that God wants you to do. You do everything in word or deed. You do it in the name of the Lord with character, integrity, and faith. And then you watch God work as you work. Oh, amen. Yeah. Dak has been putting in the work. You can't talk like Dak is talking unless he's putting in the work, the team putting in the work, the owners putting in the work, the coaches putting in the work. Everybody's putting in the work. And then you speak those things and you set those expectations. Oh, this is what Dak is doing. Oh, yeah. Hey, man, talk is cheap and Bullcorn runs a marathon. Man, you got to walk it like you talk it and talk it like you walk it. Bottom line. You're hearing people talk about manifestation sitting on their doggone butt. Don't talk to me about manifestation sitting on your butt, talking about Jesus take the wheel. We don't live in that world.
John Michaud with The Athletic. Coming into this camp, though, now that you've had a season with George, just what is it like and your thoughts on what you can do moving the ball through the air, having George and CD together?
It's exciting. They help me be comfortable. Those guys are ridiculous in their ability to get open, their ability to win in one-on-one. Right now, it's just about continuing to communicate about the zones and where they need to be in certain timings, you know, when it's not man-to-man.
Yes, sir, Gabe Robinson.
But, you know, it's not only those two guys, you know, understanding that teams can double them and they can push coverage and not take them away, but make it really hard to get the ball to them. And then you've got guys like Jake Ferguson, Ryan Flournoy, Kevontae Turpin, obviously a run game that's only blossoming with the guys that we got up front blocking for him. It's exciting. And, yeah, I know you asked about George in year 2 and CD, but they're just a compliment to this whole offense. And, you know, going into year 2, we know that last year's success doesn't just carry over to this year's success. Wow, Jake's always going to yeah, we know it's not going to carry over, and so it's awesome to see these guys, you know, in meetings and just walkthroughs, taking every moment, every rep serious because we've got to be better than we were last year in our mind, and that's our standard, and we're going to push each other and hold each other accountable to do that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm telling you, Dak is talking like I got a team, bro. I got 2 wide receivers that are arguably the top wide receivers in the game, bro. This is why Dak is talking the way he's talking. What? Shoot. Yeah, Dak is talking like somebody who got players with him this time. Man, I'm telling you, Jerry Jones has done Dak Prescott a solid. George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb on the same team is incredible. I'm praying, not only this year, I'm praying this year, next year, and the next. Man, you get this team for 3 years, they're getting you a bowl game. They're going to get you a bowl game, maybe even 2. You got the top wide receiver duo in the game. And if Terrence Steele and Tyler Guyton can be what we want them to be, oh, it's over. This team's going to be unstoppable if our 2 tackles, if our 2 tackles really step their game up this year, we're going to be unstoppable. Bottom line.
Your interior offensive line, just having a Tyler Smith, another year of Tyler Booker and BB, just if you guys are able to keep Tyler Smith there at left guard, not move him out, like how dominant do you think you guys would be on the interior?
Very dominant. And I think that's where he's going to be. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't. Yeah, sorry, I don't know.
You're right, Eric Gates. He can't throw with being on his butt.
Huh? Yeah, hold me to it. I mean, yeah, I mean, I know Guyton's going to handle his business outside. Yeah, I think we can be very dominant. And from outside in, those 2 guys, though, Tyler Booker, Tyler Smith, are impressive as hell. Cooper Beebe's has been as confident as I've ever seen him in making calls and the run calls, the pass, the protections, just getting guys into the right spot. Those guys helping them out. Yeah, super dominant. Obviously, we hadn't put on the pads yet, but as important as anything is going to be the iron sharpens iron. The guys that they have to go against and get to go against each and every day out here in training camp, and Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark and the rest of the crew are only going to make them better. And super excited what we can do. I mean, I know you saw some of those runs out there today, and just, you know, interested to see when the pads are on, and those guys in the up front on defense can really fight back and give them that full challenge to see where we can go and to see how we can grow.
Yeah. Forward Star Telegram. Tyler Guyton.
Did y'all notice? They asked Dak Prescott about the interior offensive line What does he start talking about? Tyler Guyton. Yeah, I'm telling y'all right now, Tyler Guyton is he is an absolute huge part of this team's success this year. It's a huge part. He's a huge part. JCT Slice, he said Dak is the ultimate professional. He said, and I'm tired of the quarterbacks winning by themselves narratives. It doesn't happen. They need help. We still have 4. They all need help. And I tell you the proof, JCT Slice, if they didn't need help, then explain to me again that when Sean Payton brought Matthew Stafford to the Rams, why has he now not once but twice? Why has he surrounded Matthew Stafford with a super team? Yeah. It matters who you got around you. It matters every single time. It matters every single time. Eric Yates, he said, I don't like the left tackle Guyton. I'm going to tell you something, Eric Yates. We got a lot riding on him this year, though. Man, we need this man. we need this man to rock and roll. We absolutely do. We need this man to rock and roll. Bottom line. We need him to rock. We need him to rock and roll, man. We do. We need this man to rock and roll. Let me read my man. Man, I appreciate y'all. Ernest, I'm sorry. Well, I'm not sorry, Ernest. Maybe you're new here. I am a preacher. I've always included God in my discussions on Let's Talk Cowboys. That's just who I am. I do everything in the name of the Lord, including sports talk. Yes, sir. My Bartlett said we love some Jesus in here. You better believe we do. We better believe. Robert Dudley said we need to get them to be believers of God and believers of themselves. Yes, sir. And they talk a lot about walking by faith. Yeah, Eric Yates, he said Steele is good enough. Man, I think Steele, 2 years removed from the injury, I think he might be a lot better this year. Did I say Sean Payton, JCT Slice? Sorry about that. Frank Lawrence said the 2007 New England Patriots went to the Super Bowl undefeated against and lost to a wild card team who defeated every top opponent on the road. There's no such thing as a lock to win a Super Bowl. Let's hope in the Rams hardy. Yeah, bro, I'm with you. Yeah, man, I'm with you.
And on the new nickname motto that you have for the offense, G.O.T.I, how did that come about, and why do you feel that way?
Yeah, I mean, as I just said, right, in year one in G.O.T.I and just the guys last year, a lot of times you have a lot of turnover, and we didn't have a lot of much turnover at all on our offensive side, right? We added some guys, and some younger guys are going to have to step up. So, maybe we seasoned the group a little bit, and guys are getting older, but we're close to some historic things last year. And when you have the guys that y'all have all just mentioned, whether it be the Tylers up front or it be George and CD outside, or like I said, Ferg and Flo, and you almost call them the alternate guys because the other guys' names are so big, right? Why can't we be, and just, let's be the greatest offense there is. You've heard the greatest show on turf and all the other different nicknames. And so just in our trip in Utah, something I guess I thought about in the time leading up to that and just kind of presented it to the guys in our trip. And each and every one of them, loved it or taking pride in it. And that's as cool as anything, is to watch them take pride in it and watch them talk about it and say it to each other. And it's the way that we've been practicing. And we're just going to keep pushing each other.
Oh, did we not talk about this the other day? Did I not just say the other day, we might be looking back in 5 or 10 years, looking at this Dallas Cowboys offense, saying some of the same things we said about the 90s Cowboys. We may look back in 5 or 10 years and say, that Dallas Cowboys offense was one of the best we've ever seen. He brought up the same thing we brought up, the greatest show on turf. What did I tell y'all just the other day this week? It can be argued pound for pound that this Dallas Cowboys offense may be better than that Rams offense, which was the best. What was it? The greatest team on turf? We may be looking back and saying that. We may be looking back. We still got to tweak it. We got to make sure these tackles are right. We got to make sure these tackles are right. We really do. So we need to make sure those tackles are right. the running back room. I think we're starting to see what we want to see out of pads, but now we want to see it in pads. I want to see more of Jaden Blue and Phil Maffa so that we can really see what we need to see. I'm also ready to see some other tight ends other than Jake Ferguson. I want to see Trigg. I want to see more Brevin Spanford. I absolutely do. But I'm telling you, man, we may be looking back in about 5 years and just like, wow, that offense was incredible. This is why I'm not believing that Jerry Jones is going to let George Pickens walk into the sunset next year. I choose not to believe it. I just don't believe it.
I know it's only been a couple days, no pads, but what have you seen from this defense through a couple days?
Yeah, a defense that is communicating, a defense that takes a lot of pride in what they do in each and every one of their calls, taking pride in playing with one another. When we motion, you can hear how loud they are and getting to the right fits or calls that they need to make and just challenging us. Like I said, it'll be awesome when we can put the pads on and really see and get the physicalness, and feel the physicalness from them. But so far, it's been great. It's just an iron sharpens iron mentality. And, the simple conversations with guys like Q, Kenny, and Rashawn, whether it be in the cold tank or not, those guys are wired the right way. And I know, obviously, I have a lot of back and forth with CP, whether it's on the field and us trash talking or it's just, in the hallway before meetings. And that's a super prideful guy who's going to do everything he can to make sure he puts those 11 guys in the right position and make sure that they're comfortable in whatever they have to do. And that's just going to make this camp fun as we get to compete and just keep going down the road.
Did I not tell y'all? When you have a defense, you move different. You talk different. You know what Dak is telling us? I got a defense. Yeah, I got a defense now. He couldn't tell us that last year. Last year, all Dak could do was try to defend the defense. This year, he's singing the defense praise because Dak is saying we got the right guy. Bobby Council, I appreciate what you're saying. We can say both of them. We can say the Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl while simultaneously saying if the defense is right, if the tackles are right. Do you notice what we keep saying? Yeah, we can talk about the Cowboys being successful. We can talk on those things. But the Cowboys are doing everything that they need to do to make sure these things happen. So we're not just speaking things. We're looking at what they're doing. So even Dak just said, when we get the pads on. I mean, yeah, we can say both of those things. And again, this is what Dak is talking about, Bobby. Just because you say something don't mean that if it don't happen that, you were wrong per se. There's a whole lot of other things that comes into what we're talking about here and what we're doing. And as we're talking about what we believe the Cowboys are going to do, we're also keeping that caveat as Dak said before, if we can stay healthy. What did I say? We're also going to need some luck. You're going to need some luck. You're going to need, execution. There's so many things. Yeah, we can prognosticate Super Bowls while at the same time saying, but we still need to see it on the field. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Tommy Yars, DallasCowboys.com. So after one of the plays, I think Joe maybe held on to the ball. You talked to him a little bit. What do you try to tell Joe and Sam throughout practices, and how do you see them kind of receiving your opinion, what you have to say?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, every rep is yours. And that's the only reason that I was able to play when I was asked to play, and all three levels. As I tell people, I got this right. I got the jobs when guys have went down and just really never given it back, and so just make sure they understand the importance of getting better when you're not in there. And for me, it's when I'm watching their reps and just trying to give them little things to think about. I'm not trying to overcoach them. They've got great coaches, and Steve Shimko, and obviously and Shotty being a quarterback, and whether it be Ryan Feeder helping us with the game management and just the way he sees offense and defense, and then even adding Will Greer to the room, they're getting coached, and they're going to have a lot of coaches, and obviously I add a huge bonus to that. So for me, it's just about speaking up when I see something, but not overdoing it, not trying to step on any of the coaches' toes, and those guys are very they look for that. They want me to speak to them. They want me to be hard on them and tell them what I would do or what I would think, and that's just only going to make our room better. And so we hold each other to that standard. I would ask them if they see something to say it to me, whether it's something I said I was going to do and I'm not doing, or just something simple, whether it be my footwork or I could have gotten this faster. We're all seeing the same thing. So let's just talk about it and make sure we're all getting better.
And then adding Will to the staff, I know the two of you are close. What was your reaction to that?
I mean, I was pumped. Obviously, as you.
What was his reaction? I'm pretty sure Dak Prescott was probably one of the main people talking about bring on Will Greer to the staff. I mean, what do you mean? What was his reaction? You think he was surprised? I mean, really? I want y'all to think about this. Dak Prescott talked about this, I believe, last year, that Will Greer kind of helps him prepare for games. Yeah, Cooper Rush helped him prepare. I'm pretty sure Joe Milton has some input, but Will Greer can play this game. I mean, it don't mean he can play it at a high level per se. I don't think he got an opportunity to do so, but nevertheless, he's a quarterback. He knows the game, and he's helped Dak Prescott get ready for games. So, you think he's surprised? Yeah, he's pumped. They're doing everything they can do to make sure Dak is successful and make sure that this team is successful. I mean, you think he was surprised? Of course he pumped up.
Said we're close and have had a long history of working together. And so just getting him back in the room, I know how beneficial he's going to be for me, especially as we get into the weeks of game planning, and then just also helping these young quarterbacks. So he's been in their position, he's been in their shoes, and making sure that they're ready for every rep that they get in preseason. And he's already been a great bonus, and it's only going to get better.
Yeah.
In Greenspan Associated Press, what have your impressions of Caleb Downs been since the organization drafted him?
He's as sharp as a young rookie or a young guy I've ever seen. It starts with his mentality and his approach to the game. It's who he is. Obviously, you can see it on the football field. You see it any moment that football is being talked about, whether it's in the meetings or whether it's a walkthrough or it's at practice. But just to spend time around the guy outside of football, whether it's playing golf or just hanging out, shooting a commercial with him, that's who he is. And that is contagious. He's a young guy that I respect. He's a reason that this is going to be one of our best rookie classes. And he's just going to continue to grow. And he takes a lot of pride in being the first pick of the Cowboys, and takes a lot of pride in having to step into a defense that everybody was talking about that has to get better. And he's as good as I said, as any young guy I've been around.
Man, I'm gonna tell you something. I don't know if y'all saw the Caleb Downs interview, and I don't have it on the list, but I'm going to actually fit the Caleb Downs interview in, and I think we kind of listened to a piece of it yesterday. Man, I'm telling you something. I believe Caleb Downs, and we're not going to put the pressure, or at least I'm not going to put the pressure on him of being the defensive rookie of the year. I still believe that's going to be Ruben. I'm telling y'all, man, I still believe it's going to be Ruben Bain Jr. Man, Ruben Bain Jr. is feeling some type of way. I mean, they literally tried to talk Ruben Bain Jr. out of the first round. I mean, I believe they were trying to talk Ruben Bain Jr. into being undrafted, man. I mean, they were talking crazy about Ruben Bain Jr. His hair, his hairline, again, the accident that he had, talking about the dude's arms was too short. Man, Ruben Bain Jr. gonna be on a mission. He gonna be on a mission. And I think they're going to kind of put him in different situations to where he might be able to, I don't know, for lack of a better term, I just think they're going to put him in a better, he's going to be more important in the beginning to the Bucs. Because with Caleb Downs, you got to think the Cowboys have put a pretty good cast around Caleb Downs, and especially when you're talking about Jalen Thompson. So we'll see how it turns out. But I say all that to say, Caleb Downs, I believe, is going to be everything, everybody, as far as how great he's going to be in the future. He just got the right attitude, the right mentality. He's just built right. He's built right. He's smart. He just does so many things right. He can't help but be successful. Yeah, Caleb Downs is going to be incredible for the Cowboys. And I could see, I've heard somebody talking about Caleb Downs being the green dot. I could see that being something that happens in the future. Definitely, I could see it.
Defender position has become so important where it feels like you have to have a Derwin James or Jalen Ramsey to have an elite defense. How has that position changed or developed where that matchup is so crucial over your time in the NFL?
I mean, I think it's as much as how great the pass catchers have gotten. And when you got guys like CD, Jackson, Smith, and Jigba, Jamar, Justin, you name it, they're not playing on one side of the field, and they're not playing just outside. Those guys are moving around, and that's what makes these offenses great, when you can move these type of guys in and out, in and out. And so if you don't have a guy that can travel with them, if you don't have a guy that can match up and play that, you're putting yourself in a bind. And he not only has to travel and, get inside when that guy goes inside, but he also has to stop the run. And so to have a guy that can do that, to be versatile, but more importantly, physical, that's what makes great defenses great. And as you just said, it's just the way that this game has kind of developed into, I don't want to say a passing league, but it's a lot more pass than it ever has been. And it's almost pass first, then run. So you need a guy in there that can slow down that star receiver when he moves inside, but yet fill the B gap, the C gap, or whatever he needs to, and hold the integrity of the defense.
Man, you really got to give these Vic Fangios and guys like him credit, because this league has actually done everything it can do to cater to the offense, because while defense wins championships, offenses score points and touchdowns kind of excite people and make people like watch the sport and all of those things. Boy, you got to give these defenses some credit, man. These Vic Fangio type guys, and I think we're going to have one of these type of guys in Christian Parker. When you think about an offense like the Dallas Cowboys, oh my gosh. When you think about an offense like that, and your defense has a stopping offense like that, I mean, we saw Dak Prescott go up against Christian Parker 2 times last year and sliced him up. I mean, he sliced up. Dak Prescott actually was, if I'm not mistaken, he did the best of any quarterback against that Philadelphia Eagle defense. I mean, they threw everything but the kitchen sink at Dak Prescott, and he just sliced it up with tight window throws and great reads and all of those things. So, but it is great when you got a defense coordinator and the way these defenses have kind of rose to the occasion to go against some of these high-powered offenses. Man, I'm glad we got Christian Parker, because it's going to make the Cowboys even better to be able to challenge those high-powered defenses. I am.
Joe Hoyt, Dallas Morning News. Shotty said that Pickens has been dialed in during meetings, and he said he's been motivated to be detail-oriented because of conversations with you guys. How much does that excite you to hear that Pickens has that mentality?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it. I mean, I've watched it. I'm watching him over there take notes and talk to young guys, and be as locked in as I've ever seen it, and it's already showing out there on the field. It's impressive.
What up,
he knows
King
what
Nito?
This year is for him individually. He knows
What up,
what
Mr.
this
Get
year
Dirty?
means for the team. He wants to contribute. He's one of the best teammates I've been around, and just his energy, how he shows up for the team, and what he does. And so, yeah, he's just taking another level, and that's what you expect with a guy who loves the game like he does.
I think Shotty's talked about is the evolution of the offense taking the next step.
Marcus Mancherio, you're right. The fact that we were able to pair Downs and Jalen Thompson, those two are going to be a problem. And I'll add to that, the fact that we were able to pair CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens it's incredible. It's just incredible, some of the things the Cowboys have done. Ice Cold said, kill both sliced up. Yeah, let me tell you something, Brandy. You said something beautiful here. Pickens is absolutely super young. Yeah, he's super young. And I'm going to tell you something. The thing that I love about George Pickens, y'all remember these conversations we've been having about George Pickens that has led up to this time, and, as much as some of us didn't want to hear it, George is kind of some of the reason why he's in the situation that he's in. And I said this before, and I'm going to say it again, is that the only person that could change the narrative about George Pickens is George Pickens. And I love what George Pickens is doing. Rather than crying and saying that people are doing him wrong and causing all kinds of chaos and distractions for the Cowboys, George Pickens is doing exactly what you pray that a young man does in this situation. If you are part of the narrative that is out there about you, change the narrative. Do y'all remember last year they were saying, hey, yeah, George was late to a few meetings. Did y'all notice what they said about George this year? Showed up early for the bus. Now he's in the meetings, taking notes, asking questions. George is changing the narrative. He's the only one that can do it. And I love what the Cowboys are doing, including Jerry Jones. They're helping George Pickens change the narrative. They're singing George Pickens' praises so that if they don't sign George Pickens, what the Cowboys are doing for George Pickens is that they're telling the rest of the league that if we can't pay him, he's worth the money. Pay the man. The Cowboys are doing this. All of them, they're all complicit in it. And so when you think about George Pickens being dialed in, he's changing the narrative. He's changing the narrative so that if he hits that free agency, he's going to get that money. And teams should be salivating over George Pickens if the Cowboys choose not to sign George Pickens. And I'll be honest with you. This is one of the reasons why I'm not big on the Cowboys signing Max Crosby. Because how in the world do you keep Max Crosby, or how do you sign Max Crosby, extend Quinnen Williams, and also keep George Pickens? I'm telling you every which way from Sunday, I would rather have George Pickens than Max Crosby. I'll take George Pickens extending Quinnen Williams. Man, you can give me Jordan Brooks. You can give me somebody else. Because I watched the Seattle Seahawks last year go get Sam Darnold and go get who? DeMarcus Lawrence? No, I'll take a player of that caliber. As long as you can let me keep George Pickens. We already got Rashawn Gary. I mean, I know we want all we can get, but I think we're underestimating Rashawn Gary. We're underestimating Rashawn Gary. We're going to see. I think we're going to fit Stephen Jones in here because I think Stephen Jones may have talked about who the Cowboys could maybe be looking at or what caliber of player. But I'm telling us, man, you don't get these opportunities much in this NFL where you can pair up Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and George Pickens. You don't get that opportunity much. Man, I'm telling you, I will have this all day long rather than sacrificing George Pickens to bring in a Max Crosby for a couple of years. No, thank you. No, thank you. Don't want it. Don't want it. I want George Pickens to be here not only this year, but for the next 3 to 4 seasons.
In terms of maybe getting the seam more access with Jake and some of the other tight ends, how much does that kind of play into the evolution, kind of moving the ball downfield this year?
Everything's open. Yeah, I don't want to just, give away. We're going to just tack the seams more than we did last year. But when you got George, you got CeeDee, you got Ferg, you got Flo, you got Terp, you got a run game in Javonte, Jaden, Malik, whoever it may be that comes in there. Mingo's out here making plays. I mean, you name it. And a bunch of young guys who are hungry too.
Did Dak Prescott just mention Mingo? Did he just mention Mingo? Hold on.
It's going to be tough to cover all 53.5 yards of the field, and we're going to make teams do that. And so whether it's the seams, whether it's the boundaries, whether it's getting in condensed formations and just keeping you off balance, that's the goal of this offense.
Hey, Dak. Patrick Walker, DallasCowboys.com. You being here.
Terrence Washington, what is going on? What are you in the hospital for? What's going on, Terrence Washington? Prayers up for you. What is going on? I'm sorry, I overlooked. I saw it. I'm coming back to it. What are you in the hospital for? Prayers up. Y'all make sure y'all send prayers up. Send some timber up for Terrence Washington. He's watching us in the hospital, on his hospital bed, man. I hope, pray all is well for you. Pray all is well. Jeremy Best said, I really like offense is beautiful, but I love defense. It's just nasty and ferocious and doggish. Feisty, tough, the backbone of the team. Love it. That's how you really win. Got to stop people. And I think we can do this without Max Crosby. Man, Mason Barlett says, as much as I love to have Max, he said, if we got to give up GP, then I'm good. He said, I'm good off that. I'd rather have a young GP for the next 5-6 years than Max for that has 3 more years tops at prime level. I agree. And I'm going to tell you something, Mason Barlett. I still got to see what he looks like, because you know what? He looks real good right now out there against nobody. Again, the true test for Max Crosby is what's going to happen when he starts going up against other teams and start getting that knee banged and having to change directions and grabbing onto linemen and trying to maneuver and move them, and they're trying to move him. That's going to be the true test for Max Crosby. So, hey, everybody keeps saying, yeah, man, Cowboys got to see it on the field. Okay, let's see Max Crosby on the field too. Let's see him. See Max Crosby on the field. I like where we are with Rashawn Gary. You tell me they could bring in somebody else. I mean, it don't have to be a Max Crosby level player. Just bring in, if there's somebody else that could help. I'm going to tell you right now, I'd love to have Jadeveon Clowney with Rashawn Gary. Shoot, stop playing. Mr. Get Dirty said George might be listening to Let's Talk Cowboys. Man, I doubt it. But, yeah, I wouldn't mind him. Yeah, you know what? I definitely wouldn't. Hey, any encouraging talk I can give to anybody, Cowboys especially, I'd love to do it. Yeah, Jason Turner said he keeping GP too. Jeremy Betts, he said being a mature man is what he needed to do for himself, not worrying about the contract or outside noise. He's handling his business, and it's going to pay dividends. That's why I always laugh at people like Emmanuel Acho talking about, yeah, man, I can't understand why George Pickens is playing. Yeah, you wouldn't. Yeah, you wouldn't. With some of the stuff you say. Yeah, you wouldn't. Chuck Dunaway said he out on Mango. Yeah, that's what I call him. You know, ain't nothing bad against Mingo. That's just that country slang. Brandon said Mingo is being traded for a 4th round. You think we gonna get something from Mingo? I'm struggling. I don't think we're gonna get anything from Mingo. I don't think we're going to get anything for him. I think the Cowboys going to have to just charge it to the game, as Master P said. Demetrius Noel said, I'm tired of the Max Crosby talk. We don't need him. And the Crosby acquisition is a sure sign that GP won't be back. Me personally, I won't miss Crosby because we never had him on the team to begin with. I agree with you. I don't understand people crying for a player. How you going to cry for something that you didn't have in the first place? Come on, man. I'm with you on that, man. I don't even understand that. Why people crying over a player that you don't even have? What's up, Poobie D? Sure, we them boys said Clowney had 8 sacks last year. Man, I would love to have Crosby. I would love to have Clowney with Rashawn Gary. I would love to see those two coming off the edges. I absolutely would. I would.
10 seasons, I don't think there's been a stretch of time where the Cowboys front office have made so many high-level trades in such a short period of time, from George to Quinnen, got Kenny, and then made the trade to go up and get Caleb Downs. And still, Jerry Jones is saying that he's willing to trade a top pick for a player that can help maybe as early as week 1. From 2 points of it, number one, what does that say about the sense of urgency to get things done right now? And as the franchise quarterback, how good does it feel to have a front office right now that's willing to push everything to the middle of the table?
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, it's kind of why, like I said, I'm gonna wear the shirt. I'm gonna, invite the standard. I know Jerry's done the same. And when you watch what the organization is doing, that tells you that. And so I'm blessed to be, obviously to be here 10 years, but
what did I tell y'all? I hadn't even heard this interview. This is why Dak is talking the way he's talking. Dak is talking like this because he's watching what the front office is doing, watching what they've done, watching what they're doing, looking at the players. He's just looking at everything around him. Man, Dak Prescott, man, Dak feeling like the man up in this piece, man. I don't care what nobody's saying, man. Dak feeling like the man up in this piece. Man, I wish Jerry would have did this in 2017. I believe had Jerry done this in 2017, Dak would have got him one in 2017. Man, Zeke and Dak were at the top of their powers in 2016 in their rookie season. And then the following season, even though Roger Goodell tried to derail the Cowboys, and Zeke was never the same after they suspended him, it seemed. It seemed like things started happening. But man, if Jerry would have went in and just said, I'm going all in 2017, oh my gosh. With Dak Prescott on that contract, oh gosh. But hey, better late than never. Better late than never, that's all I can tell you, I'm glad. But I'm telling you right now, man, Dak is feeling like the man up in this piece. Jerry is doing what he's supposed to be doing. Can't help but feel good.
To watch what's happened over the last couple years and to see his mind and his urgency and him still wanting to do whatever he can to make this team better. That's why you play and practice and make sure you give this team everything you can, is because, when the owner's doing it and it's going from the top to the bottom, why not? And, life's about being urgent. A lot of us want to wait and want to say, oh, we'll do it later. But what are we really promised, whether it's football or whether it's life. And so why not now?
Why not now? Yeah, that's how Jerry feeling too. That's how Jerry feeling too. Man, Jerry got more yesterdays than tomorrows. Jerry's got more past seasons than future seasons. Jerry can't be playing around no more, man. Jerry gotta get it now. Yeah! Jerry gotta get it now, man. Yeah, he gotta get it now. I'm with Dak Prescott on it. You gotta get it now, man. You gotta go.
Pat Doney, NBC Dallas. Dak, you've talked about your friendship with Jake Ferguson quite a bit. It was a big offseason for him, and he was talking about just how much life has changed for him going into this season, but he's excited. I just wondered if you would speak a little about how much he means to you as a teammate, what you expect from him this year, just in general, you and Jake Ferguson.
Yeah, he's the man. He's definitely a little brother. He's a guy that you enjoy hanging around. He's a guy that makes the day better one way or another. He's going to make you laugh. He's going to find the humor in any and every situation, and that's what I need. You go through things in life, and you create different friendships at different times. And he's just been a beauty all off season. It was awesome to support him and be there, watching him get married and just continue to take steps and grow. I say he's a little brother for a reason, because he's young, but yet he's maturing each and every day. Watching what he's done on the football field, his growth, and just the way that he's taken this offseason serious, and the strides he's made just within the game of football, and just our connection, being able to, hang outside of the facility, but when it's time to talk ball, and when we do, whether it's in the facility or not, the level of professionalism and focus that he has is synonymous to me, and so it's just been fun. He's a funny guy, and I know each and every one of you know that when you've asked him questions or spent some time with him, and so I've just been fortunate to spend more time with him than others. But he's great.
Dak, Chris Hanks from Fox 4. This is for Oklahoma City folks talking about tight ends. They were asking about if you would mind comment a little bit about Jason Witten. Did you see something early on or during your time with him that this was going to be what you thought was his career path?
Absolutely. That's who he is a guy that loves football. When I came in as a young rookie, it's all, we tell any young rookie to, find those veterans that you admire their career and you admire what they do, and, follow everything that they're doing. And that was the guy for me, being a Cowboys fan, growing up, watching Jason Witten, then being able to share the locker room and share the field with him. As I've told y'all before, it was a race to try to beat Witt in the morning, and I was trying to stay at the facility as long as he did. I tell the old story from the pat and go of him not, extending his arms and telling me, the ball needs to be here. It's a standard that he set. It's a standard that he made everybody on not only the offense but the team feel that you knew that the game is who he is. That there's a good group of us in these locker rooms that wouldn't be where we are if it wasn't for the game of football. And so you just want to give everything you can back to it. And Jason Witten is the epitome of that. And I know that obviously was a high school coach, won a state championship, and then moving on to the college ranks. I know Oklahoma's got a great one in him, and this won't be his final stop. I expect him, in this league, and honestly being a head coach, whether it's college or the NFL one day, because
5X from the
that's what the game means to him, and that's how serious he takes it, and more importantly, that's how great he is and how great he sees the game.
Yeah, Eric Yates, we got a lot riding. We got a lot riding on Tyler Guyton this year. But Eric Yates, I've already said I got 3 things that I'm always gonna say. From this point forward, this is what you're gonna hear whenever I talk about Tyler Guyton. Stay healthy, stay on the field, and dominate. That's all I gotta say. No more talk about Tyler Guyton. It's time for Guyton to go do it. 3rd season, it's time for Guyton to go do it. I believe he's going to do it, and if he don't, I believe the Cowboys are going to do something else. I think they will do something else. So we're going to see what's going to happen on that. But I believe, man, if Guyton go out there and do what he's supposed to do, oh, shoot, it's over. See, this offense is going to be unstoppable. I believe Terrence Steele is going to be better 2 years removed from that injury, and we'll see what happens with Guyton. He's been putting in the work, and it's got to translate. Frank Lawrence said, "Gee, I'm disappointed the Cowboys are sleeping on Clowney. Seattle and Green Bay are expressing interest in signing Clowney." Well, I'm going to tell you what I think about Jadeveon Clowney. I could be totally wrong, Frank Lawrence, but I believe what the Cowboys have been trying to do with Jadeveon Clowney is they've been trying to maybe gauge the market to see if they do bring in Clowney, maybe they can get Clowney at the cheapest price they can. It's the only thing I could figure.
Monte WFA. Quinnen yesterday sat up there and said he was just so happy to be here playing with one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I know your voice carries the most, but how helpful is it for you, for the team, to have an established, like, really good player
The best.
who's also a really good leader on that side of the ball?
It's amazing. Yeah, he tells me that often, and so it's cool to hear. I tell him I'm thankful he was building his house in Dallas and he chose us. But it means everything to, your best players have to practice the hardest and they have to do things the right the most. And Q's the biggest example of that. Not necessarily a big rah-rah guy or going to talk a lot, but when he does talk, it's heard. And he understands that. He understands how important his voice is. And so the words he does say, whether they're uplifting or whether they're serious or whether they're just straight to the point, we feel it. And we feel it on the offensive side as well. And, just walking and dapping guys up before the practice or before, the team period starts. Him just, kind of saying something like that again to me and just saying, hey, we're going to win this year. It's good to hear, but it also goes into where I was just saying the standard's the standard, and guys are proud to talk about what the standard is and to hold each other to it. And it's refreshing as hell.
I'm telling y'all right now, for as talented as MP was, and we're not even going to go into a discussion on MP. MP was not the leader the Cowboys needed on defense. Quinnen Williams is the leader the Cowboys have needed on defense for years. They've needed this kind of leader for years. Quinnen is not only one of the most dominant figures on a football field, but he's such a gentleman. And I mean, he is a gentleman. And it's cool to have an MP on your team. But you need a guy like this on your team when you have an MP. You need a Quinnen Williams on your team. Quinnen Williams is the anchor now of this defense. And while he's a leader, I think he's the leader in a sense. He's more of the quiet leader. I think you're going to hear more Overshown this year. Overshown is going to be more of the vocal leader, I believe. And I think you'll see leadership from the entire defense. But Quinnen is an anchor, man. And just like Dak said, his words carry a lot of weight. Because when a guy like him don't say a whole lot, so when he speaks, it's going to be like E.F. Hutton. People going to listen. I know the young folks are saying, who in the world is E.F. Hutton? I'm showing my age. But when Quinnen speaks, it's like E.F. Hutton. Everybody's paying attention. He is the leader we've always needed on defense in this Dak Prescott era. You think about this Dak Prescott era, even the Tony Romo era, it's kind of strange because a lot of the leadership has been on offense. We finally And we've had some great defensive players. DeMarcus Ware comes to mind. But we finally, in the Romo and now the Dak Prescott era, we finally have some defensive leaders. Not just leader, we got some leaders. You think about the Cowboys in the Quinn era. They wanted Michael Parsons to be a leader. They wanted DeMarcus Lawrence to be a leader. They wanted Trayvon Diggs to be a leader. They wanted guys to be leaders who really, even though they had good ability, they really were not leaders. Look at what the Cowboys have now on defense in particular, because they got leaders all over the field. But look what they have now defensively. They have leaders. They got Quinnen Williams. They got Kenny Clark. They got Overshown. They brought in Caleb. They drafted Caleb Downs. They got Jalen Thompson. I mean, you just think about it. They got D. Winters. They got Rashawn Gary. The Cowboys went and not only got an anchor for the defense, they went and got leaders, man. Yeah, they went and got leaders. They went and got leaders. Quinnen Williams is the perfect anchor for this Cowboys defense. It's the perfect anchor for it, man.
Mike Ducey from Fox 4. You've always been a process-oriented guy, but you're not shying away from the Super Bowl talk either. Is it fair to say you're a little less patient than you used to be?
For sure.
In that regard, as the years have gone by?
Yeah, definitely less patient. However, it is still a process. It's still a process. And, as I said, it's not something I'm going to get up here and talk about every single time on the podium. This is the first time me talking to you guys since training camp began, and obviously since wearing the shirt. And yeah, those are the expectations. As I said, when you're watching the playoffs or you're not getting to even compete for it, that sucks. It's terrible. And so just to have everybody on the same accord, everybody having the same standard is the way that it has to start. But at the end of the day, it is about getting 1% better. And, we're only going to get there is if we win each rep, we win each drill individually, and then that carries over into, offense trying to win each play against the defense and them doing the same, and that's where the iron sharpens iron happened. And it is a process. We're going to have days, and hopefully we're going to have, a couple of days where they get the best out of us, and we can't let that, deter our beliefs and who we are and what we're going to try to accomplish and our strengths, and vice versa. We've got some great guys on offense, and so when we're attacking them and we're having the better days, they can't get down on themselves. They got to live and learn from it, and that's the whole thing of the whole point of this training camp is it's about not beating each other up, but getting the most out of each other by being physical, pushing our limits, and seeing which and what each unit can do, but more importantly, the identity of the team that we're going to create.
Good. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Whoa. Great interview. Great interview. Rain, Dakota, Prescott, great interview. Absolutely, man, I'm telling you, you just couldn't have a better guy than Dak Prescott. You just couldn't have a better guy. Eric Gates, I'm telling you right now, I'd have told you, this is what you're going to hear me say every single time about Tyler Guyton. Because, Eric Gates, I kind of know what you're saying. Eric Gates, I'm just being real. There really can be no more discussion about Tyler Guyton. And I don't mean that in a mean way. There can be no more discussion about Tyler Guyton, Eric Gates. And I believe Tyler Guyton understands this. I think this is kind of the message that G.O.T.I is trying to communicate to him. There can be no more discussion. Tyler Guyton, go out there and do what the heck you're supposed to do, because we know you can do it. Now you're in your third year. You're putting in the work. Now let's let it translate onto the field. Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying, Eric Gates. It's a concern. But I think this is what the Cowboys are telling him. It's just no discussion. And that's why, for me, Eric Gates, I'm telling you, you're going to continue to hear me scream this mantra about Tyler Guyton. Stay healthy, stay on the field, and dominate. It's the only conversation you can have now about Tyler Guyton. There's no other conversation. There's just no other conversation you can have. Y'all got me rolling talking about Trayvon Diggs, bro. Boy, y'all got me rolling talking about Diggs. Ice Cold said Diggs a leader. Ice Cold. Isn't it crazy? The Cowboys were trying to make Trayvon Diggs into a leader. And I think it was crazy they were trying to make Michael Parsons into a leader. And just when we thought Michael Parsons was turning into that leader, man, the contract stuff just went left. It just went left. But I'm going to tell you something. Let me tell you something, Cowboys fans. I'm not glad that Michael Parsons did what he did. But in some senses, I'm glad he did what he did. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? I'm glad Michael Parsons did what he did. Because if Michael Parsons had not did what he did, we don't have Quentin Williams. We don't have Kenny Clark. We don't have Caleb Downs. We might not have Malachi Lawrence. We might not, and who knows what we're about to do with the other first round pick. Who knows? I'm not glad Michael Parsons did what he did, but I'm glad he did what he did, because that was not only the straw that broke the camel's back, but that was the straw that is the catalyst for everything we're seeing now. It was the catalyst for this team saying, nah, we got to do some stuff different, man. We got to do some stuff different. That was a part of it. So again, I'm just telling you, I'm not glad, but I am glad. You know, it's like not being glad when you read the Bible about what they did to Jesus. But you got to be glad that Jesus died for the sins of the world, if that's what you know, if you believe that, because you wouldn't have the opportunity of salvation. You're not glad, but you're glad. You can't take those things back, because you wouldn't be where you are. You even think about things in your own life, some of the failures that you've had, or some of the trials and tribulations in your life. You wouldn't be who you are without those things. So this whole Michael Parsons business, the Cowboys needed to go through that 2024. They needed that. They even needed that 2023. They needed 2023. They needed 2024. They needed that to get to the point of what we've seen transpire since 2025. And I think it's about to pay dividends. We needed it. I'm glad. I'm telling you, I'm glad. I'm glad. It's one of the best things that happened to the Cowboys. Jeremy Best said, I was saying that when Mike and Trayvon was here, that they were immature children trying to lead men. You don't need that being the culture when you got young guys coming in. They would never win. Need a mature man. And Jeremy Betts, isn't it strange? Even DeMarcus Lawrence was saying this indirectly. Yeah. Even he was saying that indirectly. He was kind of talking about the lack of leadership a guy like Michael Parsons has. So I'm just telling you, everything that we've seen, I'm glad. I'm glad this stuff happened. Because if it didn't happen, we would not be where we are. We wouldn't be where we are. I'm just telling you, I'm glad. I'm glad. Yeah, Stephen White said, but to fight back on being that leader showed something about Diggs. Yeah, they wanted him to be a leader, and again, he just wasn't that type of guy. Andre Johnson said he glad too. Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm glad this stuff. Marcus, let me tell you something, Marcus Moncherio. I say this all the time. I do not believe in coincidences. Not with the God I serve. I don't believe in coincidences. I don't believe in them. Everything happens for a reason. Everything. And the Michael Parsons situation was only to make us better. It was only to make us better, and it has, at this point, as far as everything we've seen on paper, it's made us better. I love it. I would never want to go back and do it different. Derrick Rose said, gee, the Michael Parsons situation definitely was a blessing in disguise for Dallas. It opened up the floodgates for players. Derrick Rose. We couldn't have got to where we are had that not transpired. We wouldn't have got there as quickly. Shoot, Quinn said D-Law was right the whole time. Yes, sir. Frank Lawrence said Guyton seems to lack the nasty disposition of an offensive lineman who has to dominate the most physically imposing defensive players. I think he's big body with long arms, but he's soft and undisciplined. We're going to see. Poobie D said, gee, I'm mad he gone, but I'm not mad at the return we got for him. only mad because we didn't put good defensive tackles around him. Poopy D, problem is, Poopy D, think about this. How are we going to do it? How are we going to do it? Because if you would have drafted him, it would have took, because everybody says it takes 3 years for a defensive lineman to develop. The only way you were ever going to get those defensive tackles with Michael Parsons is you were going to have to trade for him. And how were you going to trade for him paying Michael Parsons? How were you going to trade for him paying Michael Parsons the highest paid non-quarterback salary? You just were not going to do it. You just were not going to be able to do it. So it needed to happen. It's the best thing that could have happened. It was the best thing that could have happened. All right, man, I want to fit this thing in real quick with Stephen Jones. So whatever I don't get to tonight, man, I'm going to be Cowboys it's Cowboys nonstop now. So y'all get ready. Cowboys nonstop. I want to sneak over here real quick. Somebody put me up on game. I want to go over here and check out this thing with Stephen Jones. I didn't know Stephen Jones spoke on 105.3 The Fan. So I want to fit this situation in with Stephen Jones over here. Yeah, let's check this out.
KNC Masterpiece back here on.
Yeah, let's fit this in with Stephen Jones, and then I'll be back for the rest tomorrow night, if not late night. Y'all put those notification bells on just in case I decide to go. Brandy already said it. She said after dark. We're going to see tonight, Brandy. But y'all put them notification bells on just in case I do. But I want to sneak over here real quick and talk about Stephen Jones. Brandy said her least favorite Jones. Or least favorite Jones. Let's sneak over here real quick and see what he's talking about. Because I heard something about it on the radio today, him talking about players. Let's check out what he's talking about.
105.3 The Fan right now on the Wild Fork Hot Seat, your number one go-to for meat and seafood. We bring to you Dallas Cowboys COO, co-owner. It is Stephen Jones. Good morning / afternoon, sir.
Good morning, good afternoon. Couldn't be a better place to be than Oxnard, and what an amazing day and amazing temperatures. I hate it for our crew back where we're all from.
Right.
Our Dallas people that are there, because I know it's hot.
Could you imagine, though, Michael Parsons with this?
Well, I know we're early in camp, but one of the things that George Pickens already said was
I don't even want to imagine
new and improved defense. And he talks about he likes the new look, the new, maybe the scheme, but just kind of echoed Shoddy's iron sharpens iron. I know it's time to rock Cowboys now. But do you like the newness of the coaches, the players, and everything you see out there defensively?
Absolutely, and that should be the thing. We're 2 days into this thing, which is early, and
you better have your legs.
Nothing in pads, nothing in the way you really ultimately play the game. So everything is early, but I must say, and I've spent a lot of my time sitting in the defensive meeting rooms this camp in terms of really wanting to get a feel for Christian and his staff and how they interact and how they communicate and expectations amongst our players. So it's been really interesting, and like we said, it's early, but I do like what we're doing there. I do think it's creating, from talking to Coach Schottenheimer, talking to Dak a little bit, it's creating challenges for this offense, and obviously our offense is coming off a great year. It's got everything back, and I actually think there's a few pieces that could come to fruition in terms of guys like a Jaden Blue who can, really add something in terms of, the dimension as to why we drafted him, his great juice and speed. And so I really, obviously the expectations for the offense are high, but for them to be commenting that it's a challenge for them. And, they had success pretty much against anybody they went against last year. And I think, they're a great, in my mind, a great group, whether it's Coach Schottenheimer or the offensive guys themselves. As you mentioned, George Pickens, Dak Prescott, who are finding it challenging, when they go up against these guys on defense. And like I said, the interactions in the defensive room have been good. It's not perfect. We got a long ways to go. We got a lot of work to do, a lot of wood to chop. We got a lot of things before we see, what our finished product is going to look like. And I'm sure that product will evolve over the course of the year as well. I mean, we're far from done. I think I mentioned it earlier. We're always looking for ways to be better. Whether that opportunity presents itself, we'll see. But we're always looking to be better.
Last year, it seemed like there was a difficult way to get your foothold in defensive leadership. And at one point, Kevin and I asked Jerry during one of our weeklies with him. We do the weekly with you also on Mondays.
Which is why I'm amazed you agreed to do this interview.
It's a Friday. But Jerry said, Dak. And I understand why he said that. Dak encompasses the whole team. But we had a hard time, too, trying to find out who that guy was. Well, right now, you saw the leadership council, and we can point to all those guys and go, yeah, we see you.
Yeah. Wow, it's amazing. See, I hadn't even heard this. It's amazing. What is he talking about? Same thing I talked about. I can't remember the last time the Dallas Cowboys had this many leaders on defense, dare I say, 1992 through 1996. It's the last time I remember the Cowboys. People don't realize when you look at the 92 through 96 Cowboys, for every leader you could talk about offensively, the Cowboys equally had as many leaders defensively. Absolute leaders on defense. Hold on a second as we're looking at this. We'll come back to this point in just a moment on Stephen Jones. But I want to show us this, Cowboys Nation. The Dallas Cowboys, when you look back on the Dallas Cowboys in the 90s, they had a bunch of leaders. Let's look it up real quick. Let's look at the squad for the 1992. And really, you'd have to look at both of them, 92 and 93. Because they actually improved with their defensive leadership. They actually improved, believe it or not. They absolutely improved. The following year, look at this. Look at the Dallas Cowboys defense. When you look at this roster, we didn't realize it at the time, but this roster was loaded. I mean, we knew it was good. But looking back on it in hindsight, this roster for the Cowboys is loaded. Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Daryl Johnston, Alvin Harper, Michael Irvin. I wouldn't consider maybe Alvin Harper as much of a leader as I would Michael Irvin. But Michael Irvin, Novacek, Mark Tuanay, Nate Newton, Step Noski, Eric Williams. The offense was loaded. It was loaded with leaders. Absolutely loaded. Now, when you look defensively, even though you don't see all of the quote-unquote Pro Bowl asterisks beside the defense, do you know this was the #1 overall rated defense? Soak it in. Soak it in, Cowboys Nation. Some folks have to be reminded. Where are the Pro Bowlers on the 1992 defense? Where are they? You know where they are? It's the entire defense. Because when you look at these names on this defense, Tony Tolbert, leader. Tony Casillas, leader. Russell Maryland, leader. Charles Haley, leader. Ken Norton Jr., leader. Larry Brown, as crazy as it sounds, leader. Isaac Holt, leader. James, boy, I'm telling y'all, people don't understand how great of a safety James Washington was. Oh, my. James Washington. You want to talk about bringing some heat? James Washington would literally knock you in the next week. This Dallas Cowboys defense in 1992 was absolutely loaded down with leadership. Loaded down. This is what this team has been missing. Jerry has always been able to put together some offensive pieces and even throw you a couple of bones like a DeMarcus Ware. But he has not been able to replicate this level of leadership on defense. It seems like we're getting there now. It's like we're getting there. This is why you got to go back and revisit some of these 1992, 1993 Cowboys teams. Because everybody looks at these teams and they go, yeah, the offense was incredible. Y'all missing something. These people are missing something. When you go back and look at these defenses, they were incredible. Look at the 93 defense. Again, Tolbert, Casillas, Maryland, Haley. They added Dixon Edwards. I would dare say Dixon Edwards was a leader. Ken Norton Jr., Darren Smith, Kevin Smith. Had he not torn his Achilles, Kevin Smith was going to be one of the greatest cornerbacks we've probably seen in Dallas. Darren Woodson, Thomas Everett. I'm telling us, this Dallas Cowboys defense was loaded with leaders in those championship years. And when you look at the Cowboys over the years, it's not that we haven't had defensive players. We haven't had an accumulation of leadership on defense to match the leadership on offense. This has been one of our biggest Achilles heels for years on this team. It's been one of the biggest Achilles heels. Man, we're getting back to that field because this is the same thing they're discussing. They were trying to figure out who were the defensive leaders. Where were they? I would dare say they didn't have any. Where were they? They didn't have any. Now we're looking at this team, and we finally got guys when we look at the Cowboys roster. Let's look at the Cowboys roster today of 2026. And you're going to see something that is different in years past. When you look at the Cowboys defense, let's look at it this year. There are distinct leadership. Kenny Clark, Quentin Williams, Rashawn Gary, D. Winters, Overshown, Jalen Thompson. You got guys like Caleb Downs. I would even say Caleb Downs is already starting to emerge as a leader. You're just looking at your starting lineup. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When's the last time we had that kind of leadership on this defense? Yeah, in the 90s. In the 90s. So this is one of the sneakiest, biggest improvements the Cowboys have made on this team. It's been one of the sneakiest, best things they did. Ice Cold Cowboy, you ain't lying, bro. They were gangster, man. They were gangster. They were absolutely gangster. Quinn, you're talking about the Jordan Brooks thing. Yeah, the Jordan Brooks thing. We're going to see. I've seen some people talking about it. I don't know if there's any validity to that yet. I don't know if there's any validity to it. But that's, a matter of fact, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Poobie D said, Leon Lett, Tony Tolbert, Thomas Everett. Man, we had ballers. Man, Poobie D, I don't think people understand. I don't think people understand. Derrick Rose, I can see what you're saying here. Gee, Michael Parsons, Herschel Walker, Christian Parker, North Turner. I can see it. I can see it. So this conversation they're having with Stephen Jones, I understand it completely. This is what's been missing from the Dallas Cowboys. Leadership. We were trying to make people into leaders who actually were not leaders. Michael Parsons was not mature enough to be a leader for the Dallas Cowboys. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to show you something else about this Cowboys championship defense. Let me go back for a second. You can't overlook this. I want you to see something else about those teams. Watch this. Look at the age of these players. Y'all ready? Look at this. Look at the age of these players. Even though they had a lot of young offensive talent, look at the tight end, Novacek, 31. Look at the offensive line, Tuanay, 33, Newton, 32, Stepnoski, 26, 29, 25. They had veteran leadership anchoring down their offensive line. Look at their defensive line. Look at the age range. Tony Tolbert, 26. Casillas, 30. Maryland, 24. Haley, 29. So you had, even though you had some youth, you also got Charles Haley, Tony Casillas, older players anchoring it down. Look at their linebackers. Ken Norton, 27. Dixon, 25. Darren Smith, 23. Look at this. In the safety room, Thomas Everett, 29. You kind of see what's going on here? The Cowboys were trying to get young, immature players to be leaders. That's not what they did in the 90s. They had a lot of young players who were leaders, but they had older players anchoring this team also. Jimmy Johnson did a perfect mix of youth and veterans. And if you look at the Dallas Cowboys today, you will see something very similar. They have a very good mix of youth and older players. Yeah. You got to have that, man. It's hard to have a team full of YNs. You got to have some balance there. You got to have some balance. You got to have some older players that's not afraid to get in the face of some of those younger players and say, settle down, young buck. Settle down, bruh. Settle down. Do y'all remember when Malik Hooker went at Michael Parsons about his podcast? See, they didn't have a guy like Quinn. See, it would have been different. See, it's one thing when Malik Hooker, who Michael Parsons is bigger than, going against Michael Parsons when it comes to his podcast. I just wonder what would have happened had he had a guy like Quinnen Williams, bigger than him, older than him, coming to him saying, hey, bro, hey, we're not digging what you're doing with this podcast. I just wonder what it would have been like. Yeah. Could you imagine Michael Parsons being on a team with a Charles Haley? And a Charles Haley saying, hey, bro, we focused on championships here. We don't want that mess in here. Could you imagine when you don't have players like that? Well, how do you do it? The Cowboys have done a very good job. When you look at the Cowboys this year, they got a very good mixture. They got a very, very good mixture of youth and veteran players, especially when you start talking about Dak Prescott, when you start talking about those types of players. Even though Quinnen Williams isn't an old player, Quinnen Williams is an older player. So I can totally understand this conversation they're having about when you are looking for leadership on a defense, where the heck is it? Michael might have been a leader as far as his play. He was a dominant player. But Michael's problem was when he stepped off the field, stuff that he would say, things that he would do. And it was very, and people don't have to admit it, man, that stuff was distracting. It was.
How important was identifying dudes y'all thought could be leaders to add to this team this offseason?
Yeah, I think a lot of times greatness goes hand in hand, not only with skill, with talent, with, being a great physical player. I think it also involves leadership. And to me, to be a leader, Michael Irvin used to always say this, to be a leader, you got to be a great player too. I mean, you can't be a great leader and be over there on the sideline.
Now watch this. Now this is what sets Michael Irvin apart though. Watch this. But just because you're a great player, don't make you a great leader. It doesn't. It doesn't. Just because you're a great leader, don't make you a great player. I mean, just because you're a great player, don't make you a great leader.
You can't handle
handle the truth.
Yeah. That's what they had to figure out. Just because you're a great player, what separates Michael Irvin? Great player. I would dare say, even greater leader. Yeah. I believe Michael Irvin was a greater leader than he was a player. And that's saying something. He was a greater leader than player. And everybody can't claim that thing. And that's why you can't just try to make guys into leaders because they're getting 55 sacks. Okay, great, you get 55 sacks, you help us win. That don't mean that you're a leader, because you might get 55 sacks and we don't go nowhere. You can't get 55 sacks and then not be doing things that helps the team. It's different, I'm telling you.
Right.
You know, cheering them on.
Right.
That's a coach's job. But to be a leader on the field, you got to be not only, have those substantive qualities, but you also.
Yeah, but we remember the White House.
Got to be a dog.
We remember
on
the White
field.
House.
And I think that's what we are looking for. That was the identity of some of the great teams, as you had those guys who were not only dogs.
JJ, you bring up a point about Irvin, but if I'm not mistaken, if you think about the Michael Irvin incident, think about when that happened with Michael Irvin. If I'm not mistaken, that issue happened in, 1996? That's the year that Jimmy was no longer there, if I'm not mistaken. People have to realize something about what happened to that 1996 team. They took away the ultimate leader after the 1995 season. And I'm telling you, man, the 1993 season. When they took Jimmy away in 1993, Jimmy was the foundation. The floor started falling in. The floor started falling in after Jimmy left. And that's why we didn't three-peat in 1994. So what did Jerry do? Hey, man, we got to still capitalize off this team that me and Jimmy built. So what does he do? He goes get Deion Sanders, and he kind of turned that tide. But after that 1995 season, man, them Dallas Cowboys fell apart because, you can't just take away one of the greatest leaders on the team, and that was the coach. So that Michael Irvin incident, a lot of that stuff started falling apart after Jimmy left.
On the field, but they were leaders, and then you can stand up and you can ask people to do things. If you're doing it and doing it at a high level, then you can require others to do it. And certainly, whether it's Quentin Williams, whether it's Rashawn Gary, whether it's Kenny Clark, those are the things that we're looking for on the defensive side of the ball.
They got true leadership. Yeah, that's what they did. See, this is the part that's going unspoken. They went and got true leadership. Absolutely. They got true leadership. Eric Gates, you said Aikman got hurt in 94. Well, I'm going to tell you something else that stopped them in 94. The San Francisco 49ers went and got none other than Deion Sanders. Eric Gates, it's no coincidence that the 49ers got Deion Sanders and won the Super Bowl in 94, and then the Cowboys got Deion Sanders in 95, and guess what the Cowboys did in 95? They went and got Deion Sanders. Yeah, they went and got Deion Sanders. Yeah, that's what helped throw the 49ers over the top.
Other person I wanted to ask about kind of in that vein is how important then is it to keep DeMarvion Overshown on the field, because he is somebody who looks like they have some of those traits that could potentially mean leader.
No doubt. He's got to stay.
Now, y'all noticed I mentioned DeMarvion Overshown in my list of leaders. He is
healthy. He knows it. We've had great players through here who battled that. Who have been leaders, who have been great players. Sean Lee comes to mind. He had to battle, staying on the field at times. I think certainly Overshown understands, if he's really going to reach the potential he wants to, which is be a great player,
right.
And then all the good things that come with being a great player,
right.
I.e. the contract, et cetera, then you gotta stay on the football field, and he knows that.
And stay on the field. We can say the same thing about the Marion Overshown that I'm saying about Tyler Guyton. 3 things. 3 things. Stay healthy, stay on the field, dominate. Say the same thing. We can say the same thing. I'm telling y'all right now, if the Marion Overshown stays healthy, the Cowboys defense is going to be deadly. If Overshown stays healthy, they are going to be deadly. Absolutely deadly. Yep. Amber, yep. We were saying some of the same stuff yesterday, wasn't we? Yeah. Shoot. Overshown healthy? Oh, my gosh. Overshown healthy? Dallas Cowboy defense going to be nasty. Just got to stay on the field. Bottom line. Ice cold, you said it. Your best ability is what, Ice Cold Cowboy? Your best ability is availability. That's it. That's it.
He's been unfortunate in terms of a few of the injuries that he's had, but I have a lot of faith that he's gonna stay on that field, and I'm with you. I think once he's on that field, he'll be right there in the same breath as the guys we're talking about, because he's an outstanding individual who does everything the right way.
Yep, and hey, Amber, yep, I said the same thing yesterday, didn't I? Sean Lee 2.0. And again, Amber, we don't want him to be, because right now, Overshown is the black Sean Lee. He the black Sean Lee. We need him to have everything that Sean Lee had except for the injuries. Because I'm telling us, if Overshown stays healthy, it's over. NFL, watch out if Overshown stays healthy. Overshown and Quentin Williams will have this defense on its back. Them boys will be deadly. Absolutely. Yep, you're right. He got the dot, Eric Yates.
And certainly, he deserves some good fortune in terms of, his injuries and, the things that have kind of held him back a little bit. I see him overcoming that this year and being something special for us.
But there's no like quick answer on him this year, though. And I think, in my opinion, and I can't just say I saw a good training camp or I saw a good 3 games. I feel like I have to see a full season, or I have to see the consistency, longevity. I know the flash is there,
right?
But I feel like, am I wrong about that? There's just no quick answer.
Evolve into it. I think those things, on a football team are earned over time. It evolves, and certainly your track record and your history are what play into that. I mean, obviously we've got when you talk about guys who got the. It's all out there for him to be, one of those dogs on the field and leaders off is a Caleb Downs. But that's got to evolve. You don't just step in and get anointed. Now, everybody's wanting to with him, and he's doing it so far. He doesn't show any signs of guilty. And because he's a special young man, and that's why we picked him where we picked him, and we were so excited to get him there. He's got all the traits. He's got all the things you look for. To be another one of those guys that can step up, and that's why.
Oh, you talking about Tyler Guyton? I mean, I'm sorry, you talking about the Mario Overshown getting pushed around? Yeah, we're gonna see what happened when they put them pads on. Brady said Overshown is related to Sean Lee, but I can't prove. Brady said Overshown is related to Sean Lee, but I can't prove it. Their bones are the same. Oh, boy, you crazy. You crazy, Brady. She said they related. She just can't prove it. Hey, Brandy, you saying we need Dana? We need Dana up in here. I remember the first time I heard Dana, when I heard Tyler Perry in one of them Madea movies talking about Dana, I was like, who in the world is Dana? Yeah, we need Dana, DNA, yeah. We need to have a DNA test. All right, Cowboys fans, let me tell you what I got to do. I got to go cook some tacos. I told some people I was going to cook some tacos. So I'm going to go cook some tacos for some people. And then we're going to see if we can come back tonight on Cowboys After Dark. I'm going to eat these tacos and see if we can get back to it here tonight, sometimes around midnight. So y'all put those notification bells on. I might even, if I don't do 12, maybe I'll do 12:30. Y'all put those notification bells on. I'm going to go cook some tacos, and we're going to come back with Stephen Jones tonight, and we got some more topics we're going to try to get to. And, hey, we're going to do it tonight, and we're going to do it again tomorrow. So, hey, man, I appreciate y'all. Now, if I got sleepy, that means I don't come back. But believe me, I will be back tomorrow. We got a lot of Cowboy stuff to talk about. I got so much stuff to talk about, so much stuff to catch up on before the Cowboys get back on Monday. And we're going to do it here on Let's Talk Cowboys. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. DC4L, God bless. Let's Talk Cowboys and we talk facts. Peace.